Mook got the
What
keys,
else,
Chuck.
bro? Salvation. Hey, you got many minds. You think about salvation, get the dance. My flesh vain, it's my heart not trouble, our pain. We trust in Abba, he the one that kill your problems. We thanking Abba, now we know about that lava. The streets of gold, walking on that road. I can't sell my soul, hell no. I'ma be the light everywhere I go. Ain't no vaccine up in the temple. The devil know that the most I dwelling in you. They tryna shoot you up, that should really offend you.
My cry for mercy as I call on you for help, as I lift up my hands towards your most holy place. I just wanna be worthy. I just wanna be
Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, peace and blessings, shalom to everybody out there. But before we get started, let's give praises, honor, glory, esteem to the Father, Yahweh, the Ancient of Days, the giver of life, the taker of life, Yahweh. Boy, them birds, sometimes they just be going. Anyway, and his only begotten son, Hamashiach Yahweh Shai. Once again, shalom, peace and blessings, shalom to all of the Akim, all of the Akwakim scattered across to the four corners of the earth. We say shalom. Do us a favor, hit that like button, subscribe, share. And if you believe this message is edifying, please share it. Shalom, Akwaf Dorothy. She says, Shabbat Yashra'Allah, all praises, the water for being here. We have a good one today, a really good one here. So I want to kind of explain it real quick when it says get right or get left, right? I'm not talking about like the rapture and things of that nature where people be saying you're going to get left behind and things like that. But as people are still coming in, I'm going to play this short video and then we're going to dive right into the scriptures. If you like the video, if you like this brother, you know, a fellow brother of ours, if you like this song, the link is in the description box. And like it says, we don't want money. We don't have money. We don't need money, but we have what? The living water. So I'm going to play that short video. Hopefully you enjoy it. And then after that, we're going to dive right into the scriptures. Here we go. Let me share it. Hold on. Let me go back. Let me share it. Give me 1 second. Here we go.
I ain't got no money, but what I got is greater than anything you've ever seen. If you know what I mean, I've got the living water. I promise you'll never thirst again. 6 days for the banner. Eat it before it's too late. There's been something on my mind. I've got to let the whole world know. For so long, I've been walking blind. I'm so glad now, 'cause I can see His mercy went before me. Least I can do is to sacrifice myself. I ain't got no money, but what I got is greater than anything you've ever seen. If you know what I mean, I've got the living water. I promise you'll never thirst again. 6 days for the banner. Eat it before it's too late. Oh, I don't need no fancy car, no need for a mansion, no fancy clothes, 'cause all I need is you in my life to give me peace of mind. Shalom is hard to find in the midst of unrighteousness. Oh, I ain't got no money, yeah, but what I got is greater. Oh, yes, it is. Than anything you've ever seen. If you know what I mean. Oh, I've got the living water. I promise you'll never thirst again. 6 days for the manna. Eat it before it's too late. I got no but I've got something greater. Oh.
So beautiful, so beautiful, so beautiful. What a beautiful, beautiful song. Beautiful song. You know, that brother, hey, he did that one on there. And that's what we have. We have the living water. Before we jump into the scriptures, once again, Shabbat Shalom, Aqua Dorothy. Shabbat Shalom, Mayana Pasha. You hear me? Yeah, she hear me. We got Jason Moore, 77 in the building. Shabbat Shalom to you, Tawada, for being here, and all that will join in, that are joining in. Shabbat Shalom to you all. Peace and blessings. Tawada for the Abba waking us up this morning, that we able to do something and get fed with our daily bread today. So let's jump into these scriptures. Like I say, if you like that song, the link is in the description box, and he has many, many, many more songs. So yeah, you can't say it's nothing positive to listen to. It's things out there. So let's dive into the scriptures. Let's go to Second Ezra. Let's go to Second Ezra. In the 1611 King James Bible, they brought it back. Finally, the website was down for a few days. If you've seen the other lessons, you couldn't pull it up. They had got hacked. So finally, they're back. Second Ezra, chapter 4. And I'm going to start at verse 26. And the reason I'm going to start here is because the name of the lesson today, what it means says, get right or get left. Get right or get left. And I don't want you to take this in a wrong way, right? I'm not telling you to get right. This is what the scriptures, this is what the epistles tell us. Get right, you know, get ourselves right, get our life right. So when the time comes and you're taken off of this earth, you will be prepared and be ready. But I'm not rushing you. And I just want to make that clear, right? So we're going to start here, 2nd Ezra chapter 4, verse 26. And this is Ezra speaking to an angel, a Malak. It says, then answered he me and said, the more thou searchest, the more thou shalt marvel. For the world hasten fast to pass away. And it's a lot of people out there searching everything, you know. But one thing I want you to realize, and there's nothing wrong with studying, you know, there's nothing wrong with studying the Most High Word. But one thing we have to realize is the more that you try to search things out, the more you're going to marvel. You're never going to figure everything out, because that's the way the Most High has it set up. That's the same thing with the Tower of Babel. They were trying to figure things out. They were trying to get to the Shemayan. They wanted to wage war. They wanted to do this. They wanted to find out everything. What did he do? He came down and confused them. No, it's not going to happen like that. The Bible already tells us, if you feel like you have everything and you know everything, he already said, in our mind as human beings, we'll start to say, well, what do I need with the Most High? I understand everything. I know everything. I got everything. I don't need the Most High. This is why I say the more you search, the more you will marvel. Verse 27, and cannot comprehend the things that are promised to the righteous in the time to come. For this world is full of unrighteousness and infirmities. We have to take what's being written here to heart. This world is full of unrighteousness and weaknesses, right? Verse 28, but as concerning the things whereof thou askest me, I will tell thee, for the evil is sown, but the destruction thereof is not yet come. So we know it's all kind of evil being sown in the earth every day, all the way back from Adam, right? And then after Adam, after the flood, when it came to Noah. Verse 29, if therefore that which is sown be not turned upside down, and if the place where the evil is sown pass not away, then cannot it come that is sown with good. So the evil is telling us right here in the book of Ezra, it has to pass away. At some point in time, the world cannot continue on the way that it is today. It just can't. If you believe in the word of the Most High, you believe in his only begotten Son, it can't continue on the way that it is. It said it has to pass away. And the reason it has to pass away is what? So the good could come. So this is what I mean by get right or get left. If you want to be on the opposite side of this, where it says when the good is sown, then you have to get right. Verse 30. For the grain of evil seed have been sown in the heart of Adam from the beginning. And how much ungodliness have it brought up until this time? Well, I mean, I could just think. I wasn't there with Adam, but I could just think about all of the ungodliness that I have seen in my lifetime. And then I could think about all of the ungodliness that I committed myself before coming into the truth and being woke up. And you just think about the things, the people that you know, things that you've seen, things that you know people have done, stories that you hear, all of this ungodliness is being sowed in the earth. And then it says right here, and how much shall it yet bring forth until the time of the threshing come? We don't know. It might be another 2,000 years. It might be another 100 years. It might be another 5. We don't know. But as the time keep going, people keep telling us it's getting worse and worse and worse and worse. The children are getting worse. Just, you can't even go to the store now without, being worried about getting robbed or raped or pushed in the car, taken or beat or hit in the head, anything. Verse 31, ponder now by thyself how great fruit of wickedness the grain of evil seed have brought forth. Let's ponder on it just for a quick second. All of the great fruit of wickedness that's in the earth, from the top all the way to the bottom. You think about the food that they feeding us. You think about the clothes that they showing us. I mean, that they have us wearing. Let me see if I can find something. You know what? Let me see if I can find that real quick. But you think about that and you ponder on it, what the people are doing to us and pushing into us constantly the evil that's sown within the earth. Isn't it crazy? The evil that's in the earth that they sow nonstop. I was trying to see if I can find that. Let me see. I was trying to see if I can find something that that was shared the other day, and I wanted to share it to kind of show you. Let me see if I can find it. It makes me think about the evil that's sown in the earth, right? And this brother was really letting it be known of what they're doing to us as a people. Just give me a few seconds. Bear with me. I'm trying to find it. Then, so okay, I got it. Boom. Let me just okay. Let me stop sharing that with the scriptures. Now, I'm gonna show this real quick. Once again, Shabbat Shalom to everybody in the building. Aqua Dorothy said Khan. Shabbat Shalom, Aqua Adriana, Khan. She said Shabbat Shalom, beloved Aqua, Mayana Pasha, beloved Khan. Now look, let me show this. Now think about all the evil what we were just reading in 2nd Ezra chapter 4. Think about all the evil that's sold in the world. Now watch this. This is an act showing us and telling us what these people are doing to us. I'm going to share it. Here we go. Listen to it.
Were made in the image and the likeness of your creator. As within, as without. As above, so below. As with the macro, the same as with the micro. You don't know how important and how powerful you truly are. And it ain't your fault. It's the education. What's been put in your father, what's been put in your mother, what's put in your grandfather, your grandmother, your great-grandfather, your great-grandmother. And this biological evolutionary history been passed down to your genome. So now you believe in everything that they believed in a slave mentality. So you still walking around with the slave mind. And you still waiting on master. I need medicine, master. When you gonna feed me that food, master? When you gonna give me clothes, master? They say, I'll give you food.
Master.
I'm gonna give you pig slop.
Yup.
We're gonna eat the delicate part, and I'm gonna give you the worst part.
Yup.
And it's gonna drive hypertension. It's gonna give you diabetes. Not only that, you're gonna get pinworms. You're gonna get tapeworms. You're gonna get flukeworms and hookworms from it. Huh? I'm gonna give you soul food, where it can snatch and capture your soul. You want these clothes? You ain't gonna get 100% cotton. I'm gonna give you clothes that have microplastics in it.
What if I told you that scientists have found this in almost every part of your body?
What are called microplastics.
Microplastics.
Dangerous microplastics.
Those are microplastics, minuscule particles found in the gut, the blood, and the brain. Scientists say they clot arteries, linking them to heart disease and hormone disruption.
Dyes and textiles, heavy metals. I'm going to weaken your aura. I'm going to steal your aura. I'm going to weaken your immune system. I'm going to weaken your spiritual immune system.
Bring it out.
It's toxic. This is Health Canada's limit for lead in children's products. Our little red purse is 5 times more than that limit.
So somebody made this little red purse. Yeah. Like, can you imagine?
It's leaving a little trail of lead everywhere it goes.
Exactly.
And there's more. Remember this AliExpress raincoat with the hole? That's not the only issue.
Hey, really listen to this part right here. Talking about the clothing, your jacket, whatever you may have on. Listen to this real quick. Watch this.
Lab tests detect high levels of PFAS.
All of them are forever chemicals. The harmful effects include a range of effects, everything from increasing obesity to impairing immune function to different types of cancers to even diabetes.
I'm going to suck every vibrant light that's in you out of you. Oh, you want to be rewarded? Let me give you some sugar. Here's sugar, baby. It's your birthday. Happy birthday. Let me give you some cupcakes. It's Valentine's Day. Let me give you some chocolate-covered sugar candy. Huh? Let me associate it with red, but I can keep your root chakra awakened. And I'm going to put to sleep your third eye and your Keter chakra, or what I'm going to call the pituitary gland, the hypothalamus gland, the pineal gland. I'm going to shut off your heart chakra. I'm going to shut off your thymus gland. You ain't going to be able to feel love. I'm going to make you very, very desensitized. I'm going to make you sick. I'm going to make you drained. I'm going to make you adrenally fatigued because you're going to be producing too much damn adrenochrome. And you're going to be walking around forgetting who you was, forgetting what you was, forgetting who you are, what you are, where you are, and where the hell you going.
Come on, man. I mean, that was deep right there. That was deep, you know. And the brother had to put it out there. And I'm glad he did, you know. All praises to the Most High for allowing that brother to have that type of platform where he able to put that truth out, you know. And it's just real. The foods that we eat, the clothes that we have, and you think about why the Most High said don't wear mixed fabric. You think about why the Most High said don't eat these things, you know. So when we go back to Ezra, like I said, Shabbat Shalom, Brother Timothy, the water for being here. He says, happy Shabbat Shalom to all from Baltimore, Maryland in the building. All praises be to the Most High. And then the Aqua Adriana says, it's hard to find clean clothes at stores. Con. Yep, them devils control everything and they do it on purpose. That's why the brother just shared all of that with us. They don't want you to know who you are. They don't want you to be able to serve the Most High. They don't want you to do what's right. And like she said, they control everything. They got it set up like that, you know, and it's sad. It's sad. But this is why Esau, this is why the Edomites, this is why the Moabites, this is why the Hamites, this is why they're going to get everything that they deserve from the Most High because of what they have done. Look, I mean, it's deeper than what we just think. These people are on a whole nother level with their evil. So when we go to Ezra and we're reading in 2nd Ezra chapter 4, let's go back to that real quick. And he says, ponder in verse 31, right? He says, ponder now by thyself, meaning do this yourself, how great fruit of wickedness the grain of evil seed have brought forth in this earth. That's why Hamashiach Yahushua is coming back. And he coming back with wrath. He's upset. He's mad what they have done. I mean, they had took this evil to another level. It don't even have to be like this. It don't even have to be like this. They ain't got to pump stuff in your clothing. They ain't got to pump stuff in your food, in your water, in everything. It ain't got to be like this. They lying to us about the education. They keeping us sick on medication. Look, that kind of rhyme, education and medication. I mean, it's just crazy. Am I sharing this? No, I'm not even sharing it. Okay, it's on there now. And this is why it says ponder. You know, verse 32. And when the ears shall be cut down, which are without number, now great a floor, or how great of a floor shall they feel? It's going to be a big floor. It's going to be a big floor. A really, really big floor. It's going to go down. A lot of people are going to get left and they're going to get cast into that born and they're going to be, you know, it's going to be a sad day. Verse 33. Then I answered and said, how and when shall these things come to pass? Wherefore are our years few and evil? Yeah, we only going to be here about 60, 70, 80, 90 years, you know, give or take. So a lot of us is already up there in age. So we only got a few more years left, 10, 15, 20, right? Our time is coming, it's approaching rapidly. And this is why I say get right or get left. What side you going to be on? You going to be in the inside of the kingdom or you going to be on the outside of the kingdom? That's what I mean. I ain't talking about no rapture. I ain't talking about you being shot up in the air. So I'm talking about you going to be in the inside of the kingdom or you going to be on the outside. Verse 34. And he answered me, who? The angel, saying, or the Malach, do not thou hasten above the Most Highest. For thy hasten, meaning you hurrying up, is in vain to be above him. For thou hast much exceeded. So what he's telling us, the Malach is letting us know, look, stop being in a rush for Hamashiach Yahushua to come back. And people always say that, oh, I can't wait. Oh, I can't wait. Sure, I just did a lesson on that. Are you sure? Are you ready? And even the Malak, the angel, is telling Ezra, listen, your haste, you in a hurry, is in vain. So we have to think about that for ourselves when we say things like, oh, I can't wait for Hamashiach Yahushua to get back. Are you sure? Because the Malak told Ezra, your haste is in vain, and you doing it above the Most High. Verse 35, did not the souls also of the righteous ask questions of these things in their chambers, saying, how long shall I hope on this fashion? When cometh the fruit of the floor of our reward? 36. And unto these things Uriel the archangel gave them an answer and said, even when the number of the seas is filled in you, for he have weighed the world in a balance. And this is what we have to understand. Everything has already been, like I tell you all the time, we're living life backwards. Remember, before the Most High even created the world or anything that was in the world, he created the judgment first. That's one of the first things he did. Who goes out and create the judgment and then create the world, the people, the this, the that? Like he did everything the way he was going to do it, and we living through it. So the Malak is telling Ezra, hey, everything is weighed in a balance in this world. You can't hurry things along and rush it because you want to. There's still people that have to be born. There's still people that have to die. There still have to be martyrs. It has to go this way. Verse 37, it says, by measure have he measured the times, and by number have he numbered the times, and he do not move nor stir them until the said measure be fulfilled. So the Most High ain't gonna move because you want him to hurry up. You can pray all you want. He is not gonna rush because you in a rush. 38. Then answered I and said, O master, thou bearest rule. Even we are all full of impiety. What does that mean? What does that mean? Huh? It means that we don't care about the Most High. It means that we don't respect the Most High. It means we don't have reverence for the Most High. That's what the word impiety means. We do not have respect for the Most High. That's why Ezra is saying that. He's saying the Most High that bears rule, and then he says, even we all of us are full of what? Impiety. We don't respect the Most High as we should. When people hasten and they say these things, that's why I'm saying you got to think about, man, you got to think about what you're saying, what you're doing when it comes to the Most High. People all the time be like, oh, I can't wait till he come. I wish he hurry up on and come. Are you sure? You jumping before the Most High. He already weighed everything in the balance. He'll come, he'll send his son when he's ready, when it's time. You just be patient and do what you're supposed to do. Verse 39. It reads, and for our sakes, peradventure, it is that the floors of the righteous are not filled because of the sins of them that dwell upon the earth. So Ezra's trying to say, man, it's because we sinning. That's why everything is taking so long. Because while we on the earth, we're sinning. Verse 40. So he answered me. Now this is the Malak speaking, the angel. And he says, go thy way to a woman with a child and ask of her when she have fulfilled her 9 months in her womb, may keep the birth any longer within her. I don't know no woman that had the baby for 9, 10 months or 9.5 months and the baby ready to come out and she like, no, I'm not ready yet. I'm going to keep it another 2 or 3 months. It doesn't happen. That's why he said, go thy way and ask a woman. Verse 41. Then said I, no, master. No, it can't happen. That can she not. And he said unto me, in the grave the chambers of the souls are like the womb of a woman. So in the Hebrew, they would say Gehenna or Sha'al, right? Or you say it in the modern Hebrew, how do they pronounce it? How do they pronounce it? Sheol, something like that, Sheol. No, Sha'al is the way we pronounce it, but in modern, because they use the S-H-O, Sheol, yeah, S-H-O-E-L. That's how they pronounce it. E-O-L, the water. But it lets you know that when you pass away, that there's a place where that the Rakah goes, as it says, the chambers of the souls. So the souls are waiting to be released. They're hastening. They over there on the other side too, like, hurry up, hurry up. You know, like I died for this. I want to get back and do, and do my thing. But anyway, it says in 42, for like as a woman that travaileth, maketh haste, she try to hurry to escape the necessity of travail, even so does these places haste to deliver those things that are committed unto them. So that kills that lie right there, that when you die, you go to heaven. And when people in church, when they go to the funeral, they talking about when they looking up, oh, I can see your mama up there right now. She's holding hands with her Mashiach. He's a liar. He's a liar. And if he charged you to give that service for the funeral, you need to kick him and take your money back. Because he lying to you. Your mama ain't in heaven. Your granddaddy ain't nobody in heaven. Okay? Nobody. It tells you right here. So if you believe that somebody died and they went to heaven or hell, that's a lie. 43, from the beginning, look what thou desires to see. It shall be showed thee. I'm going to stop right there. Now we just going to dive into the lesson part of it. That was just to kind of warm up. I know it took some time, but that was kind of warm up. Let's go to the New Testament.
Timothy said, LOL, get your money back.
Yeah, get your, and listen, we have people dying every day. So if you know someone that's having a funeral, especially at a church or something like that, and they get some old pastor that's going to get up there and lie, talking about they see your grandmama or they see your mama in heaven, and they holding hands and they singing Kumbaya, and get your money back. They lying to you. You going to pay somebody to sit up and lie to you to make you feel good? Now, I mean, if that's what you want, hey, by all means, like she said, her brother Timmy said, the water, thank you, LOL. And like he said, get your money back. Please, get your money back. I encourage you. Let's go to the New Testament, 1 Corinthians. That's where we're going to do the lesson from today. It's not going to be a long one, but I just want to touch on this. 1 Corinthians chapter 10. We're going to start at verse 1. 1 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 1. And remember, like I said, it's not about a rapture. It's not about this. It's just about working on yourself day after day. Every day he gives you life is just about working and trying to better yourself. People want to better themselves in this life to get a career. Why not try to better yourself in this life to serve the Most High? Either you want to be inside the kingdom or you're going to be outside the kingdom. And I'm going to show you that in these epistles. They're going to tell you they're going to be people inside the kingdom, and those people outside the kingdom are going to be left. They're going to be out there like scavengers. Now, here we go. This is in the New Testament in the epistles, 1 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 1. And it reads, moreover, brethren, I would not that ye should be ignorant how that all our fathers were under the cloud, and all passed through the sea. So that's why we're doing this lesson. We don't want any of our Akim or Akwatyam to be ignorant. I want everybody to know this. Everybody that's watching this. This is the bread for the day from the Most High through the Rakah. So nobody will be ignorant of this anymore. Verse 2, it says, and were all baptized unto Moses in the cloud and in the sea. So we know that they were baptized, right? They were immersed. That's what baptized means. or baptism means. It means to be immersed. So they were all immersed in a cloud, in that pillar, in the sea, right? They were walking through the Red Sea. Verse 3, and did all eat the same spiritual meat, meaning he gave this word to everybody, and everybody what? Said, we will do everything that the Most High had told us to do. So they all ate of it. They all consumed it. They all said, yea, we will do what the Most High said do. Verse 4, and did all drink the same spiritual drink, for they drank that spiritual rock that followed them, and that rock was who? Hamashiach. Now, it's talking about the so-called, people say, Old Testament. So it's letting you know right here in the New Testament, in the epistles, that Hamashiach was there in the Old Testament with the children of Israel while they were walking through the Red Sea. Why they would, we'll just say the whole time that they were in the wilderness, particularly right here when they were walking through the sea. Verse 5, but with many of them, the Most High was not well pleased. And this is what I mean about being left. It says, but with many of them, the Most High was not well pleased. For they were overthrown in where? In the wilderness. So we know what Paul is speaking about. He's talking about the children of Israel that came out of Egypt and went into the wilderness. And the Most High wasn't pleased with all of their actions and the things that they done while they were in the wilderness. Now, if you notice, you should understand that we are in the wilderness right now. You should understand that. We are in the wilderness right now. That's why we're still patiently waiting for who? Hamashiach Yahushua to come back to take us to the land that flows with what? Milk and honey, which is the kingdom. Verse 6. Now these things were our examples. Let me highlight examples. To the intent we should not lust after evil things, as they all also lusted. Now, when we get to verse 6, it says, these were our examples. Now, for most people who don't read the Old Testament, they kind of just read this and glance over it and keep going. But remember, today is the day that I don't want you or me to be ignorant, or anybody that watches this at a later time. So we're going to go and find out, what did these people do and what was the example that was left behind for us. So now let's jump real quick to Numbers chapter 14. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but we're just going to get a little bit of it so you can get that understanding of some of those examples that were left behind for us, right? Numbers chapter 14. And then we'll come right back to Corinthians. Don't leave out of Corinthians. Whole Corinthians, but turn to Numbers 14. 26 is where I'm going to start. And there's a lot going on, but just for time's sake, I'm going to just go to 26, right? So this is the book of Numbers, chapter 14, verse 26, and it reads, and Yahweh spake unto Moses and unto Aaron, saying, how long shall I bear with this evil congregation? So the Most High is calling the children of Israel evil. Same people who he took out of Egypt. Bondage, slavery, which murmur against me. I keep telling you that the Most High hear you, and you keep hastening for those people that are in a hurry for Hamashiach Yahushua to come back. That's murmuring against the Most High. If you know what we just read in 2nd Ezra chapter 4, that he has already weighed everything in the balance, and you can't hasten or rush or hurry above the Most High, then keep your mouth closed about it. Because he takes it as what? Murmuring against him, when you already know all things are what? In his will. You can try to hasten and hurry as much as you want. Ain't nothing going to happen. These are examples for us. The second part, right? That was a question. Then it says right here, I have heard the murmurings of the children of Israel, which they murmur against me, your creator. You are murmuring against your creator, the Father, Abba. Abba Nawa Yahweh.
Sister Adriana has a question.
She got a question?
Yes.
Okay.
It is Salakia. So praying for Yahweh to haste the coming of Yahweh Shai is not a good thing to do?
Khan, it is not. Let me show you once again, because I know you came in a little bit late. Let me show you. Hold that book of Numbers and we'll go back there. Let me stop sharing that. And I want you to think like, oh, this is him saying it. I'm not saying this. I'm going to show you in the book of 2nd Ezra. I'm going to show you once again in the book of 2nd Ezra. If you have the book, the 1611 King James Bible.
She said, oh man, I do it all the time.
Let me, since we went through it, I'm going to just show you real quick. So turn to 2nd Ezra. Let me see if I could just go right to it. Chapter 4. Okay. We'll start at 33, right? 2nd Ezra chapter 4, verse 33. And if you don't have it, it's here on the screen. I'm sharing it. It said, then I answered and said, how and when shall these things come to pass? So Ezra is asking the question, listen, when is all this going to happen? Wherefore are our years few and evil, right? We only here for a little bit of time, like the Bible says, you know, like a vapor, like fog, like mist. It's there in the morning, or dew. It's there in the morning, but by the noontime, it's gone because the sun came out and it evaporated. Verse 34, and he answered me. So now this is the Malach, angel speaking, saying, do not thou haste or hasten above the Most High, for thy haste is in vain to be above him, for thou hast much exceeded. So when you read that verse 34, this Malach, this angel is telling Ezra, what are you in a rush for? You can't go above the Most High. And then he's breaking it down to him. Verse 35. Did not the souls also of the righteous ask questions of these things? So the righteous that are already dead, passed away, the souls, they asked the same thing in their chamber, saying, how long shall I hope on this fashion? When cometh the fruit of the floor of our reward? So the righteous that got martyred, put to death, all of the people that laid down their life for the Most High and Hamashiach Yahweh Shai, those souls that's in the chambers, they like, listen, when are we going to get our reward? When are we going to get to do this, what I laid down my life for? I'm ready. I'm ready to go back to the earth. I'm ready for this vengeance. I'm ready to go back. Because remember, the righteous are coming back, and that's an army. That's Yahweh Shai's army. And you're going to be able to take vengeance. It said the dust of the evil and the wicked will be on the bottom of your feet. It says in the Bible that the blood of the unrighteous and the wicked people, it will go up to the belly of horses. That's how much slaughter is. That's how much he's going to bring back. So now those souls are asking the same question. So we continue on. Verse 36. And unto these things, Uriel, so this is a Malach speaking, the archangel speaking, gave them an answer and said, even the numbers of seas is filled in you. Salakia, even when the numbers of seas is filled in you, meaning there's an exact number for everybody that comes to the earth, that is going to lay down their life for the Most High. And it has to reach to that exact number. Nothing can happen before it reaches that exact number. Meaning the Most High knows how many people are his. He knows how many people are not his. It has to reach that exact number. So you can hurry and rush all you want and pray for it. It's not going to happen until the Most High reach that exact number. And then it says, for he have weighed the world in a balance. So he knows exactly how many people are going to come into the kingdom. He knows how many people are going to be out on the, on the outside that got left. It says for 37, by measure have he measured the times, and by the number have he numbered the times, and he doeth not move, nor stare them until the said measure be fulfilled. Huh? Doth. She said it's just doth. And he doth not move, nor stare them until the said measure be filled. So that's what I mean. We can get on our knees. We can pray. We can pray. Please hurry. Please hurry. Please hurry. It's nothing going to happen. And by you doing that, you stepping above the Most High, because he already don't measure the time. How you gonna try to hurry him along, and he your creator? He your father. That's like you taking your kids somewhere and they like, I'm ready to go. You like, hold up. I'll let you know when we ready. You don't come and tell me when you ready. 38. Then answered I and said, O master, that bears rule, right? The Most High Yahweh. Even we all are full of what? Impiety, meaning we don't reverence. Can I click on this word? Let me see. It's not going to do. Let me do it here. Can you look up that word real quick? Impiety. I know it has to do with reverence and things like that.
Lack of reverence for sacred things, divine authority, or religious traditions, manifesting as irreverence, ungodliness, or profane acts. Right.
And Ezra saying, even we all are full of those things. And this Ezra was a priest from the tribe of Levi, a prophet that helped build the temple. And he is saying we still lack the reverence of the Most High. We still not doing the things we should be doing. Why? Because he's hastening right here. This is what the angel of the Malak is trying to let him know. You can't hasten above the Most High. As we continue to go, 39. And for our sakes, peradventure, it is the floors of the righteous are not filled. Now he's saying because we sitting here on earth, that's why things are taking so long. But verse 40, so he answered me. Once again, this is the angel, Uriel speaking. And he said, go thy way to a woman with a child and ask of her when she hath fulfilled her 9 months, if her womb may keep the birth any longer within her. Then said I, no, master, that can she not. And he said unto me, in the grave, the chambers of the souls are like the womb of a woman. So he's breaking it down to her, saying the souls that are in these chambers, they're hastening too. They want to hurry up, but nothing can happen until those numbers be fulfilled the way the Most High got it set up. So what good is it to hasten if you already know it's in the Most High will? This is why he always tells us, just be patient, be long suffering, just do what you're supposed to do. Be prepared, be ready. That's why this lesson is called Get Right or Get Left. Either you're going to get right and be inside the kingdom, or you're going to not get right and be outside the kingdom. Verse 42, for like as a woman that travaileth, maketh haste to escape the necessity of travail, even so does these places haste to deliver those things that are committed unto them. So he's just letting us know on both sides. I mean, it's not a good thing, but it's something inside of us for some reason. We just want it to happen quicker. We just want it to happen fast, and we already know when you read these things, you take to heart like it's not going to happen fast. It's in the Most High will. And whenever the Most High wills it, that's when it'll be. Worry about other things. Worry about getting right. Worry about walking right, living right. You know what I mean? Don't worry about that because there's nothing you could do that's going to hurry it along. Everything has already been weighed in the balance. So when we go back here, hopefully that helped you. Now, let me ask you this, if you're still there. What we were talking about, you don't think as we're reading here that the children of Israel that were in the wilderness, they were hastening. This is what they're murmuring about. The whole time they were, we should just go back to Egypt. We was better off here. We was better off there. Why is it taking us so long? He brought us out here to kill us, like all these things. But the Most High knew they wouldn't even been there for 40 years. They were only there for 40 years. What does the Bible tell us? Because he was trying to prove in them what kind of people they were. That's why they were there 40 years. Let me show you. We're going to come right back to Numbers. Let me just show you so you can know where to set yourself if you want to read it. This is Deuteronomy chapter 8. Verse 1, and all the commandments which I command thee this day shall ye observe to do, that you may live and multiply and go in and possess the land which Yahweh swore unto your fathers. And thou shalt remember all the way which Yahweh thy power led thee, what, 40 years in the wilderness, to humble thee and to prove thee to know what was in thy heart, whether thou wilt keep his commandments or no. And it says the whole time they were there, he humbled thee and suffered thee to hunger and fed thee with manna, which thou knewest not, neither did thy fathers, that he might make thee know that man do not live by bread only, but every word that proceeds. He was trying to teach them and show them his love towards them and show him his word. And he wanted them to embrace him. But they didn't. They were so stiff-necked. They wanted it the way they wanted it, you know. So this is why when we go to Numbers chapter 14, let me see if I still did I move it? Yeah. But we was in 27 where they were murmuring against him, right? Then it says in 28, say unto them, remember this is Moses and Aaron, as truly as I live, saith Yahweh, as ye have spoken in my ears, so will I do to you. Your carcass, you see what he's saying? They murmured. They didn't like the way he was doing it. They were talking against the Most High. The same thing. Let me ask you a question. I know you know this one. I'm going to ask you. Who was speaking against Moses and the Most High heard it? Miriam. As soon as they spoke on it, the Most High came down and said, whoa, 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 what are you doing? You wasn't afraid to speak against my servant Moses? All because he married an Ethiopian woman. But the Most High hears those things. So when you pray and you get on your knees and you make, because a prayer is a petition. We have to understand what a prayer is. You're petitioning for something. So when you pray to the Most High, you say, hurry up, hurry up. You're petitioning to the Most High. Hey, hurry up and do this. I'm tired of waiting. Hurry. And that's like the creation telling the creator to hurry up. And he like, I'm the creator. I already weighed everything. Like you don't know things that I know. And then he tells him in verse 29, your carcasses shall fall in this wilderness, and all that were numbered of you, according to your whole number, from 20 years up or upward, which have murmured against me. So all of those people that came out from Egypt, they didn't even get a chance to get into the land of milk and honey because what? They were speaking ill against the Most High. And he tells you right here, this is why. That's why their carcasses are going to fall in the wilderness. Why? Because they were murmuring. They were talking about the Most High. Let me see if I can click on that. Oh, I don't want the whole thing. I just won't murmur. It says a sound made by a person or a group of people speaking quietly, meaning they wasn't yelling this. They were speaking among themselves, whispering. Oh, what you think about the Most High? Oh, he doing this. Oh, but the Most High hears it. He hears it. You can see it on the screen. That's the definition of it. It tells you right here at the bottom one right here, it says whisper. Thinking he won't hear them. But the Most High hear those whispers. He hears the thoughts in your head. He hears everything and knows everything. And what did he call those people? Verse 30, doubtless. You shall not come into the land. What land? The kingdom. The land that flow with milk and honey. The same thing we waiting on. Concerning which I swore to make you to what? Dwell therein, except Caleb and who? Joshua. Those were the only two over 20-something years of age that were able to go what? To the promised land. He says, but your little ones, which ye said should be a prey, them will I bring in, and they shall know the land which ye have what? Despised. They despised that land of milk and honey. Remember, they wanted to turn back and go into bondage. It's the same thing today. You tell somebody about the Most High, his only begotten Son, Hamashiach Yahushua, the anointed one, and then you tell them about the law, statute, and commandments, how we have to get right, get ourselves prepared for when the bridegroom comes back. And what do? They start to talk down on you, despise. But they're not rejecting you, as the Bible says. They rejecting who? The one that was sent, Hamashiach Yahushua. And if they reject him, then they reject the Father. 32. But as for you, your carcasses, they shall fall in this wilderness, and your children shall wander in the wilderness 40 years. That's why they was in the wilderness for 40 years. It wouldn't even took that long if they would have just did what they were supposed to do. But no, they wanted to whisper. They wanted to murmur. They wanted to talk about the Most High. Why did he do this? And why did he do that? What's taking so long? Why he not hurrying? 40 years and bear your who? Whoredoms. Until, this is why everything is waiting to balance and it can't be rushed, until your carcasses be wasted in the wilderness. So yeah, we may be praying and petitioning for the Most High to hurry, but it's a whole nother agenda that's going on that we have no idea about. We have to understand what he's doing to the nation of Israel. He's pruning the ones that are good, the ones that are going to the kingdom, and the ones that are going to be outside the kingdom for the duration of time that Hamashiach Yahushua is on the earth. That's why there are two what? Judgments. You have the one judgment with who? Hamashiach Yahushua. But then you have the other judgment when everybody tells you in the book of Revelation where all the souls come out. All of them. And those are the ones that are what? Going to be judged by the great white throne, which is the Father, because he is the only one that sits on the throne. And this is why it says in Revelation in the Bible that what? Those that have part in the first resurrection, you have what? No need to worry about the second death or the second judgment, Salakia. Because you were already raised with Hamashiach Yahushua. But those people that are not raised, oh boy, you got to go in front of the Father. So it's deep. 34. And the number of those days in which you were what? Ye searched the land, even 40 days, right? This is how he got the 40 years. He's telling you how he got the 40 years. You were searching the land for 40 days. This is how you get the 40 years. Each day for a year. So they searched the land for 40 days. And since they did that, he said, you know what? I'm going to make it each day for a year. So that's why they was in the wilderness for 40 years. That what? ye shall bear your iniquities, your sins. This was a punishment. The 40 years was a punishment for them to what? Bear their iniquities. Even 40 years, and ye shall know my breach of promise. I, Yahweh, have said, I will surely do it unto all this evil congregation that are gathered together against me in this wilderness. They shall be consumed, and they shall die. The Most High ain't playing no games.
And there they shall die.
Salakia, and there they shall die. The water for that. And where did they die? In the wilderness. They was left out. That's why I said don't get left. They could have went in. They could have been there. They could have thrived. But no. They got left outside. Why? Because they were doing all kind of things against the Most High. They was unappreciative. They was impiety, as we just spoke about. They didn't have reverence for the Most High. That's why Ezra said we are all like this. This is why we got to look at ourselves and check ourselves and be careful how we handle the Most High. Remember, he is the creator. He is our Father. And if you have reverence, meaning you have respect for him, you're not just going to go talking to him any kind of way or crazy. That's why there's no, what's the one thing that you can't get forgiven for? Blaspheming who though? And what? Taking his name in vain, blaspheming the Most High, and what? Blaspheming the Holy Spirit, which is basically the Spirit of the Most High. And there's no forgiveness for that. No forgiveness. It tell you right off the top. If you go that far to blaspheme him, blaspheme the Most High, blaspheme the Holy Spirit, the Quadash Rakah, there is no return. You'll never get forgiven for that. Never. So we just have to understand, let's go back to Corinthians. Oh, man. Hopefully that answers your question, though, Aqua. And that was just off of what? Verse 6 that we read in Numbers 14:26 on down to 35. That was just those examples right there that Paul is talking about. This is why I'm saying when you read Paul or you just reading this New Testament, you have to go back to see what Paul is talking about. That stuff that they did in the wilderness, Paul says that all that I just read in the book of Numbers, Paul says now those are Salakia. Now these things were our examples to the intent we should not lust after what? Evil things as they lusted. Verse 7 says, neither be ye idolaters, as were some of them. As it is written, the people sat down to eat and drink and rose up to play. Now, where did he get this from? Does anybody know? Before I even go there, if you already know, put it in the chat. You know, Ma? What he's quoting when he says this in 1 Corinthians chapter 7? Chapter 10, verse 7. Huh?
I'm reading. Hold on.
This is why I say it's important when we read this New Testament, these epistles, Paul is coming from the Torah. All the things that he's writing down, he's telling us that these things are written for us, for our learning. You said what now? You don't know? Let me show you. Let's go to the book of Exodus real quick. 32. Exodus 32, and I'm going to just get right to the meat of it. We'll go to 5. This is when the people were in the wilderness, once again, left Egypt, and they're building a what? Golden calf. I'm going to go to verse 5, right? It says, and when Aaron saw it, he built an altar before it. And Aaron made proclamation and said, tomorrow is a feast to Yahweh. Here it is. This is exactly what Paul is saying in 1 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 7. It says, and they rose up early on the morrow and offered burnt offerings and brought peace offerings. And the people, this is what he quoted. He's quoting, and the people sat down to eat and drink and rose up to play. See? These are our examples. So when we look back and we go back on this, we see what the people did. What did they do? They made a golden calf and start to worship it. So why you going to your church and bowing down to a cross, bowing down, especially in the Catholic Church, to a little baby thing that they got, that they call it Hamashiach Yahushua, or Peter, or Paul, all of these statues that they have. Those are idols. That's idolatry. And they gave the honor to that idol instead of to the Most High. And he says in verse 7, and Yahweh said unto Moses, go, get thee down, for thy people, which thou broughtest out of the land of Egypt, have corrupted themselves. They have turned aside quickly. Quickly. It didn't take a long time. Out of the way which I commanded them, they have made them a molten calf and have worshipped it and sacrificed thereunto and said, these be thy Elohims. O Israel, which have brought thee up out of the land of Egypt. And Yahweh said unto Moses, I have seen this people, and behold, it is a what? Stiff-necked people. Moses wasn't even up on the mountain for 40 days. He said they turned aside quickly and started to do what? Worship something that they built. Why? Because they wanted to see something physical. They wanted to touch something physical. Why? Because they're stiff-necked people. And this is why he has to humble us. So there it is there. And that's what Paul is talking about in 1 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 7, when he speaks about how they rose up to play. They sat down to eat and drink and rose up to play. This is why it's important when you read the New Testament to have read the Old Testament already. So when you read the New Testament, you know what's being talked about. You know what's being said. You can go back in your mind and be like, hey, that happened in the book of Exodus when the people were going off making that calf. It says neither, in verse 8, it says, neither let us commit fornication as some of them committed and fell in one day 23,000. Now, what is Paul talking about? He's giving another example, a reference. He's letting us know about something that happened. These people committed fornication. I'll just show you. Let's hold 1 Corinthians 10 and 8 and turn to Numbers chapter 25. So notice Paul keeps going back to where? The Torah. If the law was done away with and Paul was writing that the law was done away with, why would he keep showing you things that's written in the Torah? It's done away with. Who cares? But his whole epistle is about what? These are our examples. Let me show you. Numbers 25. Everything was left for us for an example. Numbers 25, and we'll start at verse 1. It says, and Israel abode in Shittim, and the people began to commit whoredom with the daughters of who? Moab. Right? Are the children of Israel supposed to be dealing with the children of Moab? No. Did that change any time? No. We're still not supposed to be hanging out with Moab. Numbers 25 and 2. And they called the people unto their sacrifices of their deities. And the people did eat and bow down to their deities. The children of Israel were bowing down to their deities. Moab. Verse 3, and Israel joined himself unto Baal Peor. And the anger of Yahweh was kindled against who? Israel. Why? Because they had joined themselves to these Moab deities. Oh, you thought it was cute in the story when you seen a little Buddha and you bought it and brought it home and just set it in the corner. You was like, oh, it's so cute. Or that little Japanese cat or Mishnah, or you bought a picture or whatever the case may be of these other deities of other nations. You better be careful with that. The Most High consider you when you do things like that you are worshiping those things. He don't care because you thought it was cute and you was using it for a decoration. Verse 4, and Yahweh said unto Moses, take all the heads. Now, this is why people today in Christianity, this is why people don't like the Old Testament. And they say that God in the Old Testament, oh, he was so ruthless and destructive. But see, the Most High didn't play no games. And they think that Yahweh Shai is different. But Yahweh Shai is going to be the same way. He came the first time as a humble servant. But this next time he coming just like this with the Most High with vengeance. And it says, take all the heads of the people and hang them up before Yahweh against the sun, that the fierce anger of Yahweh may be turned away from Israel. So they had to decapitate them and take their heads off. Numbers 25:5. And Moses said unto the judges of Israel, slay every one his man that were joined to who? Baal Peor. That was commandment from the Most High. Listen, all them people that were worshiping and going down into those churches, into those things, and bowing down to Moab, and they wanted to go see how it was that night, and they was having a festival, and you was like, oh, I've never been, I want to go see. Yeah. The Most High says, slay every one of them that was joined to doing that. So be careful with joining hands with these other nations, and they tell you, and they invite you to come somewhere, and they invite you, and hey, the Most High said you join hand with them. Verse 6, and behold, one of the children of Israel came and brought unto his brethren a Midianite woman. Why would he do that? Why would he bring this Midianite woman in? In the sight of Moses and in the sight of all the congregation and the children of Israel, who were weeping before the door of the tabernacle of the congregation. They already crying to the Most High Yahweh in front of the tabernacle. And here come this dude bringing another nation of a woman in. Another nation. Let's see what happened. And when Phinehas, the son of Eleazar, the son of Aaron, the priest, saw it, he rose up from among the congregation and took a javelin in his hand. So when Phinehas saw this, he see his brethren bring in another nation of a woman. He jumped up. He jumped up and took a javelin in his hand. And it says in verse 8, let me put it up. And he went after the man of Israel into the tent and thrust both of them through, the man of Israel and the woman through her belly. So the plague was stayed from the children of Israel. So Phinehas killed that man, even though he was a fellow brother, a fellow Ak. He was going off with this woman. And he had so much zeal for the Most High, he killed him and the woman. So both of them had what? They've been left out because they went against the Most High. So that's what Paul is talking about when he says that in 1 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 8. That's why I'm saying it's so much information in this New Testament when you look at it from the right perspective through the right eyes. All praises be to the Most High Yahweh through the Rakah, the Quadash Rakah. But when you never read his word from the beginning in Genesis and you just jump at Matthew, you don't know what it's talking about when you read Matthew, John, Luke, especially when you get into Paul, you don't know what they're talking about. Even in verse 9 right here, it says, neither let us tempt Hamashiach, as some of them also tempted and were destroyed of what? Serpents. What is it talking about? All these things, he's referencing something. He's telling us about circumstances, situations that happened to the children of who? Israel. So he has to be talking to who? The children of Israel. Why would you reference something about these people if you're not talking to these people, to their ancestors? For those who know, it's in the book of Numbers. Let me just show you what about the serpents real quick. Numbers 21. I'll just show you what he's talking about right there. Numbers 21, just for time's sake, we go right to it. Numbers 21:6. And Yahweh said, sent fiery serpents among the people, and they bit the people, and much people of Israel died. But who sent those serpents? The Most High. The Most High Yahweh sent those serpents against his own people, and they did what? They died on the outside. Therefore, the people came to Moses and said, we have what? Sinned. All of a sudden now they understand, listen, man, we sinned against the Most High. We got to go to Moses and ask for forgiveness. You got to go to Hamashiach Yahushai and ask for forgiveness and repent. Just like they did then when they went to Moses. Moses was the savior. He brought them out of Egypt. The same way now you got to go through Hamashiach Yahushai. You got to go to him, get on your knees and repent and ask for forgiveness for all your sins. Are you going to be left out? For we have spoken. What did they do? They spoke against. They wasn't throwing rocks at the Shemayim. They wasn't shooting missiles at the Shemayim. They wasn't writing on the wall, F such and such. No, they wasn't doing that. What were they doing? They were just talking against the Most High. Just words, whispering, murmuring against the Most High. And it says it right here, for we have spoken against Yahweh and against thee. So they wasn't only speaking about the Most High, they were speaking about Moses. Pray unto Yahweh that he take away the serpents from us. Now, this is what Hamashiach Yahushua is talking about when he was on the earth. Just as they lifted up the serpent in the wilderness, so must the Son of Man be lifted up. That's what he is quoting right here. For those who know. And for those who didn't know, now you know. This is why he said, just as that pole was lifted up in the wilderness, so must the Son of Man be lifted up. That way that everybody looks to the Son of Man, they shall be saved. Just as they look to the serpent that was lifted up, that Moses lifted up, was saved. And Moses prayed for the people. What did he do? He made a petition for the people. He talked to the Most High and said, listen, these people know they sin. Abba, forgive them. Give them some, what is it? Give us some grace. Verse 8. And Yahweh said unto Moses, make thee a fiery serpent and set it upon a pole. This is what Yahweh Shai was saying. That fiery serpent that was set on a pole. And it shall come to pass that everyone that is bitten of what? That sin. Who is the serpent? Hasatan, Satan, the devil, the wicked one, the unrighteous one, the ungodly one, however you want to look at it, the deceiver. Everyone is bitten of who? That serpent, Hasatan, that fell into sin. When he look upon it, you shall live. It says in verse 9, and Moses made a serpent of brass and put upon a pole, and it came to pass. Let me highlight this part. And it came to pass, if a serpent had bitten any man, when he beheld the serpent of brass, he lived. You okay? As long as you looked up towards that serpent of brass that Moses was holding up in representation of who? Hamashiach Yahushai, they were saved. They lived. These are the things Paul are talking about when he goes into all these things. Verse 10, 1 Corinthians 10 and 10. Neither murmur ye, as some of them also murmur and were destroyed of the destroyer. Verse 11. I try to show as many. It's a lot more, but I'm just not going to show all of them. But if you want more, let me know. Email me, put it in the chat. Let me know. Verse 11 says, now all these things happen unto them for what? An example. Examples. And they are written for what? Let me click on this. Admonishment. For our warning. Counsel, you see it on the screen, our warning. He is warning us as the children of Israel. He's saying this is an example for us. He's warning us. This is the counsel he's giving us. Upon whom the ends of the world are come. Wherefore, let him that thinketh he understand take heed lest he fall. If you think you understand the epistles, you think you understand Paul writings, you think you understand the Bible, it says, fine, take heed. If you don't take heed, if you don't pay attention, if you don't hearken to this, you're going to fall and you're going to be left out. You're going to get left outside of what? The kingdom. All praises to the Most High that he put this in here through the Rakah, through the Spirit. Verse 13, there have no temptation taken you, but such as common to man. But the Most High is faithful, who will not suffer you to be tempted above that you are able. Meaning every temptation you go through, you can handle, because he wouldn't put something on you that you couldn't handle. But will with the temptation also make a way to escape, that ye may be able to bear it. Wherefore, my beloved, flee idolatry. That's what he's asking us to do. He's asking us to flee what? Idolatry. Don't be like them. Don't get caught in that. And it's a lot of idolatry in this world. A lot of idolatry. Our kids use it every day. They want to be like LeBron. They want to be like the basketball player. They want to be like this person. They want to be like that person. That's idolatry. Idolizing somebody, someone, something, some place. Be careful. Especially be careful when you're speaking about the Most High. And when you petitioning or praying for things to the Most High, because your prayer is a petition, you're asking the Most High for something. And remember, he is the Most High. Let me show you a couple more in the New Testament. Let's go to Matthew real quick. Matthew chapter 22. That's why the lesson is called Get Right or Get Left. Matthew 22:1. And Yahushua answered and spake unto them again by parables and said, the kingdom of the Shemayim is like unto a certain king, which made a marriage of his son, and sent forth his servants to call them that were bidden to the wedding. And they would not come. Look how stiff-necked these people are. They were bidden to the marriage, but yet they would not come. Again, he sent forth other servants, saying, tell them which are bidden, behold, I have prepared my dinner, my oxen, my fatlings are killed, and all things are ready. Come unto the marriage. Come on. Hamashiach Yahushua is bidding us to the marriage. Verse 5, but they made light of it and went their ways, one to his farm, another to his merchandise. One to his house, his farm that he had, and another one to his merchandise, stuff that he was selling. He was a salesman. He had merchandise. They thought that stuff was more important than coming to the wedding. What wedding? The bridegroom, Hamashiach Yahushua. When you come and you call yourself a believer, you have entered the what? The wedding. You just waiting on the bridegroom to come, which is Hamashiach Yahushua. And it's nothing more important than that. Not your farm, not your merchandise, not your business, not your job, not nothing. 6. And the remnant took his servants and entreated them spitefully and slew them. They killed them. But when the king heard thereof, he was wroth, angry, and he sent forth his armies and destroyed those murderers and burned up their cities. Then saith he to his servants, the wedding is ready. So because the wedding is still prepared, but those people were unworthy. It says, but they which were bidden were not what? Worthy. That's why it says many are called, but what? Few are chosen. Just because you called don't mean that you chose it. You could be one of these people that were called, but you wasn't worthy. You got the wedding invitation, but then you wasn't worthy. It says in verse 9, go ye therefore into the highways. This is why the Akim go into the highways and byways, right? This is why they go to the corners, wherever they at teaching. And as many as ye find, bid them to the marriage. This is why the ox go out and teach on the highways and byways. You're bidding them to what? The marriage. When people stop and they listen and then they come around and they like, oh yeah, that's, they spirit, the Rakah come alive in them and they start to come and they start to listen and they start to study. That's because you have bid them to the marriage. They're entering in. Verse 10. So the servants went out into where? The highways, where the Akim is. This is where you can find the Akim, especially on today, the Shabbat. And gathered together all as many as they found, both bad and good. Now here's the key. Here's the key. Because when you out there teaching on the highways or byways or online or whatever, you don't know who is good and you don't know who is bad. The judge is going to do that. Who is the judge? Hamashiach Yahushai. So you just bringing people in. They say they believe. They say they walking with the Most High. They say they worshiping Hamashiach. Worshiping the Most High Yahweh and believing His only begotten Son, Hamashiach Yahushai. Both bad and good. And the wedding was what? Furnished with guests. Now the wedding is going on. It's a lot of people in there. Verse 11. And when the king came in to see the guests, he saw there a man which had not on a wedding garment. So out of all those people in there, it was one man that didn't have on his wedding garment. Now, what's your wedding garment? Please don't think of a tuxedo, okay? That's today. That's the Edomite way.
Isn't it a robe?
What kind of robe?
A wool robe?
Well, not so much. A white robe.
White robe.
Yeah, Quadash. No spots, no blemishes. Just a robe. The white robe. Ain't that what he say? He putting crowns on their hand, palms in their hand. They were given white robes. That's your wedding garment. That you're getting married to who? The bridegroom, which is who? Hamashiach Yahushai, the anointed one. But this man didn't have on no robe. So he says in verse 12, and he saith unto him, friend. He called him a friend. Why did he call him a friend? Let me show you. Let me go here and show you. When we go here, let's click on this word friend real quick. Did I miss it? Right here. It's the Greek 2083, right? And he called him a friend. When we look at the outline biblical usage, it says a comrade, a mate, a partner, two, kindly address. Then it says one, a friend, my good friend. So he didn't address him as any kind of way. But then right here, it says right here, when you look at the Strong's definition, it calls him a what? A clansman. What does the word clansman mean? Let's click on it. A male member of a clan. What clan would that be? The tribe of Israel. Meaning this man was from one of the 12 tribes of Israel, if not from the tribe of Judah itself. You can see it on the screen. A male member of a clan. He couldn't be an outsider because he's a member of the clan. And not that other clan. A comrade, fellow, a friend, right? So he addresses him of that nature. He's actually, you know, sticking his hand out. Akia, salute. He saith unto him, friend, how camest thou in hither not having a wedding garment? And he was speechless. He had nothing to say. The man of the hour, the bridegroom, the king, he comes over and he asks you a question and you have nothing to say to the king? Nothing? People say now they're waiting for Hamashiach Yahushua. He finally shows up and he addresses you, comes over to you, calls you a friend, and asks, how did you get in here without your garment? And you don't have anything to say? Verse 13, then said the king to his servants, bind him hand and foot and take him away and cast him into outer darkness. There shall be weeping and gnashing of teeth. And this is what I mean. He got left. He got kicked out the wedding and he got left. He didn't go on. He wasn't able to see the ceremony. If he was right, he was already in the wedding. He would have been good. And he gave him a chance. He asked him, but the man didn't say nothing back. So the king said, you know what? Bind him hand and foot. Take him out. Cast him out of here to outer darkness, where all those other people are doing what? Weeping, crying, and gnashing of teeth. And verse 14, as I just told you, it says, for many are called. He's telling you, many are called. You might say, oh, years ago when I first got touched through the Rakah, through the spirit, and I was just touching into it. And this elder lady, just say that, maybe in her 70s or something already. She was sitting down and I was standing up by her. And one thing she told me, and I didn't understand then, she said, ooh, you might remember, Mom. She said, ooh, you call. You got a calling on you. At that time, because I didn't know no better, it meant a lot. It made me feel good. It gave me a tingling sensation. But I understand now being called don't mean diddly squat. You just got called. You want this part right here. But few are chosen. So yeah, you could be called. But you want to know what part comes with the calling? The judgment. You were called, but what did you do with it? Did you squander it? Did you throw it behind you? Did you cast it away from you? Did you let the cares of this world take you down? That's why I say as many are called. But not everybody is going to set things to aside for the Most High and His only begotten Son. That's why He tell us time and time again, hey, if you love your mom or your dad more than me, you're not worthy. If you love your kids more than you love me, you're not worthy. If you love anything more than you love me, you're not worthy. If you love your possessions more than you love me, you're not worthy. If you love money more than you love me, you're not worthy. It don't matter. All those people were called. The rich young ruler was called. But was he chosen? No, because he didn't want to get rid of his possessions. And he kept the commandments, every one of them. So I just hope you can see this. It says get right or get left. That's the lesson for the day. Let me get the one about the virgins real quick.
That will go for The wedding.
The wedding, yeah. Same thing. I shouldn't bring it out.
No.
Oh,
It goes with that.
yeah. Same thing. The bridegroom.
Mm-hmm.
Matthew 25:1. You want to read it?
No. Go ahead.
Matthew 25:1. It says, then shall the kingdom of Shemayim be likened unto 10 virgins. He's telling you, he's giving you a parable. The kingdom is like 10 virgins, which took their lamps and went forth to meet who? The bridegroom, Hamashiach Yahushai, the anointed one. This is who the virgins went to meet. 5 of them were wise and 5 were foolish. Split right down the middle, half and half. They that were foolish took their lamps and took no oil with them. When it says oil, what oil is it talking about? Remember, it's a parable. What is he talking about? They didn't have no oil. What oil do we get? What is Israel known as in the Bible? Or should I say, what kind of tree? We'll say this. What kind of tree? An olive tree. And the olive tree produces what kind of oil?
Olive oil.
Okay. So if you're a tree, which you're likened to in the Bible, a tree, an olive tree, because you're a child of Israel, you need to produce and bring forth what? Oil. And in the spiritual sense, in the Rakah sense, it's called what? The anointed oil that has been poured on you through who? The Most High and His only begotten Son, Hamashiach Yahushai, that you should what? Bring forth good fruit. Because it's only through His anointing, His grace, His mercy, His long, all these things that you even can do these things. So like I say, you got to look a little deeper than just the black and white that's on the paper. Now, those that were foolish, they didn't do what? They took no oil with them. They wasn't bringing forth no fruit. They wasn't doing anything because they were living in the world as what? Foolish. Doing what they wanted to do. Living the way they wanted to live. We got plenty of time. I'm still young. When I get old, I'll serve the Most High. But for right now, hey. Verse 4. But the wise took oil in their vessels with their lamps. While the bridegroom tarried, they all slumbered and what? Slept. Verse 6. And at midnight there was a cry made, behold, the bridegroom coming, go ye out to meet him. Then all those virgins arose and trimmed their lamps. And the foolish said to the wise, give us your oil, for your lamps are gone out. Give us some of your works. Give us some of your fruit that you don't did. Give us some of your bricks, your time, your energy that you don't did while you was living here on earth. Let us get some of that so we can go forth and meet the bridegroom. But since they wise, what did they say in verse 9? But the wise answer saying, not so. I put the time in. I put the work in. I got this oil. Then it says, I just
thought about that.
You thought about what?
The bumping.
You turned around quick on that one.
The bumping.
The bumping.
At work.
Uh-huh.
You know, like, because you put the time in.
Uh-huh.
You know, like, a lot of people felt bad. Like, even I felt bad.
Uh-huh.
But it's like, I got to think about what I have to do for myself.
Right.
And the opportunity was given to me, so I need to do it.
This is the opportunity. But look at what the wise said. Not so.
I put in that time.
Lest there be not enough for us and you.
Yeah, it's not enough.
Remember I told you when we was talking the other day, I said, hey, it's just a Band-Aid. But watch, you never know. Next year might be all over again. But they didn't watch. You know, And now it says, not enough for us and you, but go ye rather to them that sell and buy for yourselves. Huh? Go out there and try to run and get it now. That's like you see Hamashiach in the sky. And you running, trying to get people, come to Hamashiach. You out there with your Bible now. Oh, praises. No. It don't work like that. Verse 10, and while they went to buy, while they were out there scrambling, trying to get some oil, guess what happened? The bridegroom came. They wasn't prepared. They wasn't ready. Why? Because they were foolish. All the time they were here on earth, he let you live 50, 60, 70 years. And you kept putting it off. You kept putting it off day after day after day after day. Until the time that he came, or until the time that the Father said, hey, that's enough. Give me my spirit back. Give me my Rakah back. You ain't going to, I already let you live like the children in the wilderness 40 years. He said, you know what? All y'all going to die here. I'm going to take my spirit here, and y'all are not going to get into my what? Promised land. The bridegroom came, and they that were ready, this is the key word, ready. Those that were ready went in with him to what? The marriage. Like she said, that go with the last parable that I just gave you in Matthew 22 about the marriage. The ones that were prepared, the ones that were ready, they went in. That's why the king asked that man, how did you even get in here?
Yeah, even the ones that's not ready and you try to sneak in, you can't.
Right.
He gonna notice.
He said, how you get in here? You ain't got the garment on.
No.
But he gave him a chance. He asked him. He was a king. He could have just said, hey, told his servants and whispered in the ear, hey, get that guy over there and kick him out. Because to be honest, most kings don't go address people. They send their servants to address you. Correct?
Yeah, but he probably was like, how did he get in here?
But this is why I showed him where it said friend. That's why I keyed in on that. Friend. He was a clansman. He was a member. But he had no answers. And when it says he was speechless, meaning what? I hope you didn't miss that he didn't submit himself. Because the Most High is full of what? Mercy and compassion. If he would have threw himself at the king's feet, say, oh, king, oh, Most High, I know I shouldn't be in here, but you are full of compassion. You are full of mercy. I'm here. Please don't cast your servant out. Please don't. But he was speechless. He had no remorse. Go ahead.
That's like the mother who was praying to Yahweh Shai for her daughter that gave you like,
right.
The dogs.
The woman. Right. The Canaanite woman that was praying for her daughter.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he didn't want to do nothing, but he said she had what? Faith.
Yeah.
You know? So I mean, you know, he didn't understand the magnitude of what was going on. And that's why he was speechless. But I like I said, starting off with 1 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 1, Akim, Akwatiam, brothers and sisters that really are listening to this lesson, I do not want you to be ignorant of this thing. This is what Paul is saying. And hopefully you understanding this and getting this lesson and getting this message through the Rakah. Once again, it says, and while they went to buy, the bridegroom came, and they went, Salakia, and they that were ready went in with him to the marriage, and the doors were what? Shut. They got left. Outside, they got left. Let's see what happened. Verse 11. Afterward came also the other virgins, saying, Master, open to us. Now they at the door knocking, banging. Master, open to us. Let's see what Hamashiach Yahushua says. But he answered and said, truly, I say unto you, these are true words. What did he say? I know you not. Why? because they were foolish. They didn't have any oil. They had to leave. They wasn't prepared. They wasn't ready. And then he goes on to tell us in verse 13, watch therefore, for ye know neither the day nor the hour wherein the Son of Man cometh. You keep, we, I'm not pointing any fingers, we, W-E, I'm included in this. I'm not excluding myself. We need to be prepared and ready at any given day. Any given day. We keep putting in our minds and putting it off that we think that he's not coming, or we don't know. Since we don't know, we kind of laxy-daisy. It could be today. It could be in 5 minutes. It could be tomorrow. It could be in 5 years, 5 months, 5,000 years. We don't know. But what he asks of us is to do what? Watch. And be what? Ready. Because we don't know the day, or we don't know the hour when our brother, Hamashiach Yahushai, the only begotten Son, is going to come back. And if he comes back and we're not ready and prepared, we're going to be left out like these virgins. Like that man that he made it into the wedding, but he still got kicked out. That's like you make it into the kingdom and you see everything, the glory and all. You like, ooh, wee. And then a Malak walk up to you and say, hey, hold on, come here.
This ain't your party.
Come on. And then he binds you and casts you, and he taking you out of the gate again. And you kicking and screaming, no, no. He's like, oh, you wasn't ready. Remember, you wanted to do you. You wanted to turn up. You wanted to this. You wanted to that. He kept telling you, be ready. And the whole time you kicking and screaming while you getting kicked out the gate.
Sister Adriana said, come for water. It's something I needed to hear. And Jason Moore said, yes, the water 100.
Come, all praises. All praises. This is why we do these things. All praises that you understand this. You know, that's how you know the Rakah spirit is working within you. Just because you hearken and you understand and you can listen to it and understand. Now, submitting yourself is one thing, or should I say another thing, because like you said, I needed to hear this through the Rakah, through the spirit. Like Jason Moore says, the water. Yes, the water. You're acknowledging that, hey, these are some things that I need to think about. We all need to think about. We all need to be prepared and ready. You know, she also says, what she say? Read that.
I can be very impatient. I want him to return soon. I might not even make it because I might not be ready and think I am.
Now that's honesty.
How I feel.
That's honesty.
That's how I feel.
See what I'm saying? That's honesty. We have to be honest with ourselves. And in so doing so, it opens up for him too, that he sees, yeah, you know, you're longing for him and his son to come back because of the evil that we're in, the things that we have to go through, but you're longing for him in love. And yeah, you may not be worthy. I might not be worthy, but it's not up to us. We're not the judge. He is the judge. That's why he say, I judge what? Your heart. I don't judge like man. So the way you're judging yourself is not the same way that the Most High or his son is going to judge you, especially like men or women on this earth. So don't worry about other people judging you. Worry about Hamashiach Yahushai, and he judged from the heart. He know deep down inside what you really feel, and if you really love him, and if you really care for him. That's what's most important. You know, so all praises for sharing that. She said, calm. You know, let me just say this real quick, and then we're going to pull out a few more, and we're going to get ready to wrap up. Let me just say this. This is not to point the finger, bash anybody, put anybody down. Like I say, I never exclude myself, because I can fall tomorrow. I can fall today. I can fall 5 minutes from now. Remember, Hasatan, Satan, he's always at your door waiting. Like Peter said, like a roaring lion, he's roaming around looking for someone to devour. And there's no better, greater thing than him to put down or devour someone who was proclaiming that he was a child of the Most High and doing the will and the work of the Most High. That's a great victory. man, I got him to go down and put him to the side. He is no longer doing the work of the Most High. That's a victory. That's a good victory. No more lessons. No more calling on the name of the Most High. You put to the side now. So those are victories for him. So we just have to stay diligent, focused, keep our eye on the Most High and his only begotten Son, and as brothers and sisters, encourage one another. You know, encourage one another. There has been times through my journey that I've been way down, ready to throw in the towel, say, man, forget it. But I had people, luckily, I just say my wife that was next to me, to say, no. You know, and that's why it's supposed to be a helpmate or help meet, that you're no longer two, you're one. So when you down, they can push you. When they down, you can push them. And y'all working for the same thing. That's what a true helpmate is, especially when it comes to the word. I'm not talking about, I mean, you need that on the outside things, but this right here, which is the core, the rock, you really need that. You really need that. And a lot of Akim would say, oh, well, you know, you got the Akim around you. Man, the Akim don't know things that your significant other know. They don't lay down with you. They don't hear the whippers, the things that you go through when you go to the doctor. They don't know everything. And you don't share everything with your Akim. But your significant other know things when you hurt, when you in pain, when you down, when you cry. You know, they know a lot more than your ox know. So I'm just grateful with that. So this is not to put anybody down, cast anybody down. I'm just saying we all need to get right and be prepared and continue to work on ourselves before the bridegroom comes. As he just said, where we left off at, let me put it on the screen again. And I'll read that verse one more time, those last two, where it says right here, when the bridegroom came, verse 10, Matthew 25:10, and they that were ready went into the marriage, and the doors were shut. Matthew 25:11, afterward came also the other virgins, saying, Master, Master, open to us. But he answered and said, truly. For those who may not know, when you see the word verily there, it means truly. Let me show you, because people will be probably saying, why he say that? See right here, the dictionary, see it says verily. It really means what? Truly. You see it on the screen. So that's why I say truly. Okay. Master, Master, open up to us. But he answered and said, truly, I say unto you, I know you not. Wherefore? You got to watch. You got to be prepared. You don't know the day or the hour that the Son of Man is coming. You know, and that's what it's all about. Either you're gonna be in the kingdom or you're gonna be out the kingdom. Let me pull this one as we wrapping up. Revelation chapter 22. And I'm gonna show you what I mean by being left out or get left. Right? This is Revelation 22. I'm gonna just go right to it. Verse 10. And as you can see, it says the final message. This is the last book in the Bible, the Holy Bible, the Kodash Bible, the set apart word. The last final message, right? And it reads, verse 10, Salakia. And he saith unto me, seal not the sayings of the prophecy of this book. So this is John, for those who don't know, and he's like in the spirit, right? And the spirit is dealing with him through the Most High. But it's telling him to not seal these things. Seal not the sayings of the prophecy of this book, meaning he wants people to have it. For the time is at hand. That was almost 2,500 years ago, and the time was at hand then. So you know the time is still at hand now, even more. Verse 11, he that is just, or Salaki, he that is unjust, let him be unjust still. And he which is filthy, let him be filthy still. Meaning, if you want to stay unrighteous, you want to stay filthy, stay that way. Stay that way. Enjoy it. And he's telling you, and he that is righteous, let him be righteous still. And he that is Kodash, holy, let him be holy still. Meaning you need to stay the way that you are. If you holy, stay holy. If you righteous, stay righteous. If you unjust, which means unrighteous, stay that way. Verse 12. And behold, I come quickly, and my reward is with me. What does that mean? His reward is with him. Meaning whatever you did or whatever you done in your body, that's going to be your reward, whether it be good or bad. Paul tells us that in 2 Corinthians chapter 5, verse 10. Whatever you have done, that's going to be your reward. Your mama can't save you. Your daddy can't save you. Nobody can save you. It says to give every man, here it is, according as his work shall be. What work did you do? What did you do here on the earth? Let's click on that word work and see what it says in the outline biblical usage. Let's go. Because I don't want you to say, well, that's what he said. It don't really mean that. Let's see what it's one of them generics. It says work 152 times, deeds 22, doing and labor. Outline biblical usage, it says business, employment, that which anyone is what? Occupied. That's what he wants to know. What was you doing with the time you were here on earth? What were you doing? I gave you 50 years. I brought you into the truth at 30. So you had another 20 years. Another 20 years to live for me. That's what the Bible says, redeeming the time. Meaning when he woke you up, now you have to redeem the rest of your time here on earth. It says in 2, in any product, whatever, anything accomplished by hand, art, industry, or mind. 3, it says an act, deed, thing done. The idea of working is emphasized on op, to that which is less than work. To work, it says in strong definition right here, to work, to toil. Is not what that was told to Adam. You're going to toil the ground. It says the act, deed, doing, labor, work. He wants to know. That's what it's about in Revelation 22 and 12. That's why he says, I come quickly. You're not going to know when I come. And my reward is with me. I'm going to catch you off guard. Basically, I'm going to catch you with your hand in the cookie jar. And just like little kids, when you pop in the kitchen and they hand it in the cookie jar and what you doing, little kid, little bitty kid, not the little kids. They say nothing. You say, you didn't eat a cookie? No. And they be hand in the jar, cookie in the hand. That remind me of that one little kid that had the stuff all over, like the powder or the Vaseline, all over their face. And he said, did you touch that Vaseline? He said, no, I didn't touch. He got it all over his body. Anyway, he says, and behold, I come quickly, and my reward is with me to give every man according what? As his work shall be. What did you do? What deeds did you commit in this body? Did you live for the Most High once he brought life to you and brought you out of that darkness to his marvelous light? What did you do after that? Did you share his word? Was you there for your brother or sister? Then it says in verse 13, I am the Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end, the first and the last. Now, I just want to say here that a lot of people believe, and they can't wait till they get to this verse, that this is Hamashiach Yahushai talking. Well, let me bust your bubble. This is not Hamashiach Yahushai. This is the Father. He is the first. He is the last. This Alpha and Omega is Greek. This is something that was already written long time ago, long time ago, when it says the beginning and the end, the first and the last. Let me show you real quick, and we'll come right back here. It is written many a times in the book of Isaiah. You can find it in Isaiah 44, 48, 46. Let me go to it. Let me see where it's at. Okay, Isaiah right here, 44:6. This is the Most High, Yahweh speaking. This is where they get this stuff from. This is why I encourage you to go back and read. A lot of times these people are giving glory to Mashiach Yahushai, but these words are the Father speaking. Isaiah 44:6. It says, "Thus saith Yahweh, the King of Israel." So who is the king? Is Mashiach Yahushai the king, or is the Father the king? Who is the king? Then he says, and his Redeemer. So who is the Redeemer? Is it Hamashiach Yahushai, the anointed one, or is it the Most High? Who is it? Who is the Redeemer? The Most High Yahweh is the King of Israel. The Most High Yahweh is the Redeemer of Israel. He gave those things to his son because he gave all authority to his son to do those things where? Here on the earth. He sent him as what? His word. That's why Hamashiach Yahushai is called what? The word. That's why he's called the word. So who is the true Redeemer? The Most High. Who is the true King of Israel? The Most High. It says Yahweh of hosts. Let me highlight it. I am the first. I am the last. And besides me, there is no other power. There's no power besides him. Now, if Hamashiach Yahushai says that he's the first and the last, then that would make him a liar because the Most High said he was the first and the last. So somebody got to be a liar there then if Hamashiach Yahushai said that. But I know for a fact that he didn't say that. Why would he? When the Father already said that he is the first and the last, and he would never, ever, ever go against his Father. For he said out his own mouth, I came to do my Father's what? Will. If we read verse 7, it says, and who, as I shall call, and shall declare it, and set it in order from me, since I appointed the ancient people and the things that are coming and shall come, let them show unto them. And this is to all my people that are watching. This is for you. Fear ye not, neither be afraid. Have not I told thee from that time and have declared it? Ye are even my witnesses. Is there a power besides me? Yeah, there is no power. I know not any. So he's the Most High, the Creator, our Abba. He said there is no other power but me. Everything comes through me. I'm the only king. I'm the only Redeemer. It's all me. So if you telling me Hamashiach Yahushai claims to be this, then that means he would be lying. Or these are the Father's words. And these people don't have understanding, and they're leading you to believe that this is Hamashiach Yahushai speaking, but really it's the Father. And like I say, it's not just one time. Let's get it in Isaiah 48. I'll just get one more. Isaiah 48. Let me see. Let me find it. Just to show you it's everywhere in here. Now, if the sister Adrienne is still in here, here's something for you right here.
She said the water for this breakdown, I always thought it was Yahushai.
No.
She's still in here.
All praises be to the Most High, right? Watch this. Isaiah 48:5. It says, I have even from the beginning declared it to thee. Before it came to pass, I showed it thee, lest thou shouldst say, my idol have done them, or my graven image and my molten image have commanded them. Thou hast heard, see all this, and will not ye declare it? I have showed thee new things from this time, even hidden things, and thou didst not know them. They are created now, and not from the beginning, even before the day when thou heardest them not, lest thou shouldst say, behold, I knew them. Yeah, thou heardest not. Yeah, thou knewest not. Yeah, from that time that thy ear was not open, for I knew that thou wouldest deal very treacherously and wouldest call a transgressor from the womb. For my name's sake will I defer my anger, and for my praise will I refrain from thee, that I cut thee not off. Who are you talking about? Israel. Behold, I have refined thee. Salaki, I have refined thee, meaning I cleanse you up. I made you who you are. But not with silver. I have chosen thee in the furnace of affliction. For my own sake, even for my own sake, will I do it. For how should my name be polluted? And I will not give my glory to another. So if you tell me in the New Testament, when they say Alpha and Omega, and that's Yahweh Shai Mashiach, you are polluting the name of the Most High. And here in Isaiah 48:11, he says, my name will not be polluted. Hearken unto me, O Jacob and Israel, my call. I am he. I am the what? The first. I also am the last. Once again, he's telling you. And he's telling the children of Jacob, which are the children of the 12 tribes of Israel, to hearken, to listen. Don't let these people fool you in these churches. That's why all these people are worshiping Hamashiach Yahushua. Talking about he's the Alpha and Omega. That's almost blaspheming the Most High. Are you crazy? Verse 13. It says, my hand also have laid the foundation of the earth, and my right hand have spun the Shemayams. When I call unto them, they stand up together. All ye assemble yourselves and hear, which are among them, have declared these things. Yahweh have loved him. He will do his pleasures on Babylon, and his arm shall be on the Chaldeans. I'm going to stop right there. But that's what it's talking about in the book of Revelations that we're about to go back to. So the Most High made proclamation after telling people that he was the first, he was the last, he was the first, he was the last, he is the king, he is the redeemer. Now, mind you, I want you to get this clear. All authority was given to Yahushua by the Father, right? Let me get that for you real quick. Let me get that verse. Give me 1 second. It's in 1 Corinthians chapter 15, I believe. Hold on. All authority was given to the Son by the Father. Hold on. It said Matthew 28, but I wanted another one. Let me see. Okay. I'm going to get both of them real quick. Let me go here. Let me go to Matthew 28 first. And then we're going to go to 1 Corinthians chapter 15.
You want what first?
Matthew 28 first. Matthew 28, verse 18. And it says, and Yahushua came and spake unto them, saying, all power is given unto me in the Shemayim and in the earth, and in earth. Then he tells you, go therefore, teach all nations, baptizing them in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Kodash Rakah, teaching them to observe all things whatsoever I command, right? So we know right there, Matthew 28 and 18. Now we go to 1 Corinthians chapter 15, real quick.
Corinthians 15.
Yeah, 1 Corinthians 15, and I'm gonna start at I just want to go straight to it. 15 and 23, I'll start it. It says, but every man is in his own order. Hamashiach, the first fruits, meaning Hamashiach is the first one. He was the first created, the first creation, and he's the first one that what? Risen from the dead and stayed alive in that body that he got. Afterwards, they that are Hamashiachs at his coming, right? The first resurrection. 24. Then cometh the end, when he shall have delivered up the kingdom of the Most High, even what? The Father. When he shall have put down all rule and all authority and power, but he must reign till he have put all enemies under his feet. The last enemy that shall be destroyed is what? Death. Then it says in 27, for he have put all things under his feet. But when he said all things under, look, Salaki, when he said all things are put under him, it is manifest that he is expected, which did put all things under him. What is that saying? I want to show you in comparative text. Barakatah. In the NLT, it says, for the scriptures say that the Most High has put all things under his authority. Of course, when it says, listen to what it says. When it says all things under his authority, that does not include the Most High himself. I just wanted to show you that in the comparative text. So yeah, everybody else, everything else in the Shemayim, in the earth, wherever it is, everything is under Hamashiach Yahushai authority. But one person that ain't is the Most High. He's not under his authority. Why? Because Hamashiach Yahushai is under the Father's authority. Then it goes on to tell you right here in that last part. Let me just highlight this whole thing right there. Right? All things are under his authority. It says that does not include, when it say God right here, it's talking about the Most High himself. Then it says who gave Hamashiach his authority. So he's coming as the very word of the Most High. He's proclaiming his word here on the earth. So that's why when he says the first, the last, that he is the Redeemer, he is saying the very words that the Most High has spoken and told him. When you go down there, this is what you say. This is what you tell the people. So the word came, which Hamashiach Yahushai is, and he said, I am the first, I am the last, I'm the Redeemer, I'm the King of Israel. But is he talking about himself? No, he's talking about the Father. And he always tell you and point to who? The Father. But we are so stiff-necked and corrupted, we look at him as the word and just think that it's him, and we worship him and we praise him and we this. And very seldom do they talk about the Father. Very seldom do they worship the Father. Very seldom do you hear anything about the Father being brought up. Everything is about Hamashiach, 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 Hamashiach. And for those who don't know what Hamashiach is, you say it all the time. It's that C word that they use within the churches. Or JC. You see it here on the screen. This right here. That's just to put a stamp and verify and tell you that what I'm saying is valid and it's true. It's written in the scriptures and it's written in the epistles. So if anybody kind of try to come and say, well, that ain't what it really say, you got to be careful. That dude lying. Listen, it's right here. You can read it for yourself. It's right here in black and white. They don't understand and they don't know. But if you want to, hey, to each his own, I'm only here to bring the word out. And that was 1 Corinthians 15 and 27. I'll read 28. It says, and when all things shall be subdued unto him, then shall the Son also himself be subject unto him that put all things under him, that the Most High may be all in all. So even Corinthians 15 and 28 tells you. And if that's too hard for you, we get it in comparative text and it'll say it in any verse, any version. The New Living Translation says, then when all things are under his authority, the Son will put himself, the Son, Hamashiach Yahushai, will put himself under who? Elohim, meaning the Most High, or Allah, which means power, authority. This is what it's talking about. So the Son will put himself under the Most High, who? Authority. Meaning he has to submit and bow down to the Most High. So that the Most High, who gave his Son authority over all things, will be utterly supreme over what? Everything, everywhere. So who has complete supreme power over everything, everywhere? The Most High Yahweh. The Most High. So next time you run into somebody and they putting all they, worship in Hamashiach Yahushua, and they talk about he the first, he the last, he the alpha, he the omega, he this, he that. You say, hold on, slow down. You're moving too fast. You're moving way too fast. Let me show you this in the scripture. Let me show you this in the writing. Let me show you this in the epistles. Because it's written here in black and white. And I try to get it in the easiest version. That's why I do the comparative text. You can go to New Living, the NIV, the ESV. Because, some people will say, I don't understand that old English. Well, it's right here in the New English, and you can't run from this. It says, put all things. And then he going to turn around and bow his knee to who? The Father. And the Father will be what? Utterly supreme over everything and everywhere. So hopefully you can see that. Now let's go back and finish up in Revelations where we was with the Alpha and Omega. And all praises to the Most High, to that Adriana, that she said she sees this now. And she always thought that it was Hamashiach Yahushua. And a lot of people do.
She said, Khan, they haven't broken it down well yet.
Khan, well, you make sure if you know somebody like that, you send them this message through the Rakat, through the Spirit. And if they willing, if they have ears to hear, all praises. And that's why I tell you every time, for anybody, if you believe that this message, this lesson is edifying, share it. It's important because there's a lot of people out there who think that and believe that, and they being misled and go to church every Sunday. Or even some people are people that's in the truth, are in camps, they believe that. And like you said, because these are things that ain't being spoken about. These are things that they don't break down. But they'll tell you about Edom. They'll tell you how about they were slaying people out there on the highways and byways and all. Listen, it's other stuff to talk about other than that. We know Edom gonna get theirs. Okay, we got it. What else? We got to make sure our people get right, or they gonna get left. So that's what's important. She said, Khan, they haven't broken it down. Well, yeah, Khan. She says, Khan, I will. And that goes for anybody that's watching or may watch this at a later time, 10 years from now, 20 years from now, 50 years from now, whatever. Please share it. By then, I'll probably be gone. But please share. Continue to share this message. That's why we do it. We labor, not for us, but for the message to continue on. That's why his word will never die. It's always going to multiply. Let's finish this off where we was. Revelation 22, and what verse was we at? 13, right? So I already broke that down, who this is, the Alpha, Omega, the beginning and the end, the first and the last. I broke that down. It says, Barak are they that do his commandments, right? I don't really have to get into that. We should know already that we're supposed to be keeping his commandments. If you need me to break that down, please let me know, and I will go into it and break it all down. But we know we should be keeping the commandments because it says right here in Revelation 22 and 14, Barak, which means blessed, which means to be exalted, are they that do his commandments. This means you will be exalted. Then it goes on to tell you right here that they might have right to the tree of life, and may enter in through the gate, or Salakia, gates, plural, into the city. Like we was talking about earlier, that one servant that got into the wedding, but then when the king came, he said, hold on, you ain't got wedding garments. I mean, he made it into the city. He made it right here. He made it. He was able to see the city. He stepped foot in the kingdom. But the king seen him. Said, hold on. And then he asked him, how'd you get in here? Where's your robe? You don't have your wedding garment on. He was speechless. And with that, they cast him out. But the only ones that's going to get in here, it says, exalted, Barak, are they that do his commandments. And then it tells you, if you do the command, I don't care what your pastor, your mama, your daddy, your grand, I don't care. The church, your camp leader, I don't care what they tell you. If you ain't keeping the commandments, it tells you right here, the ones that do, that they may have right to the tree of life. What tree? What tree? The tree of life. That immortal. It says, and may enter in through the gates into the city. So you know we going to a city. I don't know why people keep looking up in the sky, thinking you going in the sky, floating around on clouds somewhere with wings. No, we're actually going into a city. That city is called what? Jerusalem. Where's it going to be? In Israel. Yashra Allah in the Hebrew. The Bible tells us we going into what? A city. Now here it is. Pay close attention. This is where you don't want to be. You don't want to get left out here. It says, for without are dogs, sorcerers, whoremongers, murderers, idolaters, and whosoever loveth and maketh a lie. Now, when it says for without, it means outside. Let me show you. Once again, this is why it's good to go to these comparative texts. In the New King James, as you can see, it says, but outside. You don't want to get left where? Outside. Like the virgins. Those 5 virgins that were left outside, what? The door. That man that kind of slipped in the wedding, he got in, but as soon as they seen him, what happened? He got cast out. You don't want to be like them. The New Living Translation says outside where? The city. You don't want to be left outside what? The city, which is the kingdom of the Shemayim, our kingdom of heaven. It is a city, and you don't want to be left outside. You don't want to get left out there. Why? Because everybody on the outside of the kingdom is what? They're sorcerers, the sexually immoral, the murderers, the idol worshipers, and all who love to live what? A lie. So most Christians, that's where they're going to be. All of those Christians, all of those Catholics, all of those non-denominations, those the Baptists, the Methodists, the Presbyterian, all of those Jehovah's Witnesses, all those are going to be right here outside the city. Why? Because they believe the lie. Isn't that what 2 Thessalonians said? Let me show you real quick. When we think about that lie, 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, and we're just going to go straight to the meat, verse 10. Right? Verse 10, 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 10, it says, and with all deceivableness of unrighteousness in them that die, because they receive not what? The love of the truth, that they might be saved. It's somebody that's watching, they're going to watch this at a later time, and they're going to say, that guy is not preaching the truth. That's okay. That's okay. They believe in their stuff. They believe in their church. They believe in their pastor. They believe in whatever they believe in. But that's okay. I'm fine. But as long as I know I'm bringing out the word, everything that I've spoken about today, I've showed you everywhere in the Bible. I didn't read one verse and close the Bible and then preach a sermon for 2 hours about what I think. Everything I brought out was from the word of the Most High. And this is from the word of the Most High. He says, and with all deceivableness, meaning they're being deceived of what? Unrighteousness. Unrighteousness is when you break the law. That's what sin is. 1 John 3 and 4. In them who die, Why? It says because they receive not the love of the truth, that they might be saved. And for this cause, the Most High shall send them what? A strong delusion. That's how they're able to keep going to church on Sunday. They're able to keep being part of that camp that they're in. They're able to keep being part of the congregation that they're in, that church building, whatever it is that you're a part of. If you're not getting the truth, you're in a strong delusion. And the Most High has sent it to you. He said, for this cause shall send them. Who sent it? The Most High. That they what? Should believe a lie. They're comfortable with believing the lie. That stems way back from us, Israel, all the way back in the day, thousands and thousands of years ago. Verse 12, that they all might be damned who believe not what? The truth about keeping the commandments and getting into that city, but have what? Pleasure in unrighteousness. They have pleasure in breaking the commandments. Every time you pull up a plate and you eat some crab and you heard it, that go against the Most High, but you said the commandments is done away with, you have pleasure in his unrighteousness. Every time we put on a piece of clothing that we know we shouldn't wear mixed fabric and you do it anyway, you having pleasure in his unrighteousness. Whatever it is the case may be, things that you know in the commandments that you shouldn't do. I'm not saying nothing that ain't written where you can't see verbatim, word for word. I'm talking about everything that we know without a shadow of a doubt that is written that we should not do. You got to hold to that. Not what man said, but what the word said. And the people don't want the truth. We know they don't. It says it. I'm going to show you where it says it. Isaiah chapter 30 real quick, and we're getting ready to close out. Isaiah chapter 30, verse 8. It says, now go, write it before them in a table and note it in a book, that it may be for the time to come, forever and ever. So this is forever and ever. You can't get around this. Right now, 2026, May 2nd. That this is a rebellious people, lying children that will not hear the law of Yahweh. That's why they're in the church. That's why they're in the camp. That's why they're in the congregation. The Most High, through his prophet Isaiah, has already told us it's a rebellious people. They're lying children. They don't want to hear the law, which say to the seer, see not, and to the prophets, prophesy not unto us right things. You gonna tell the prophet, don't tell us the right things to do, but speak unto us smooth things. Prophesy deceit, lies. So the people love it when the pastor get up on Sunday and tell them about John 3:16, or how we was talking about earlier. You go to a funeral and they lie to you and tell you, I can see your mama right now. She's in heaven. She's holding hands with JC. Oh, what a glorious day it is. That's what they want to hear. That's what Isaiah is saying right here. And if you do it in comparative text, the New Living Translation says that they tell the seer, stop seeing visions. They tell the prophets, don't tell us what is right. Tell us nice things like John 3:16. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten child. And all you got to do is believe in Jesus. Come on. Tell us what? Lies. That's what the people want. Let me tell you, if I wanted 1,000 followers right now, all I got to do is start speaking lies, and I will have 1,000 people in the chat right now. Guaranteed. All I had to do was start speaking lies about John 3:16, telling people all you got to do is believe in JC and this and that. And I would have people all over the world being like, oh man, that man, ooh, he preaching, boy. Look at him go. And they would be okay for me to be living in my sin. They would never tell me what was wrong, what things I'm doing wrong, what things I'm saying wrong. They would never tell me because they love what? Lies. And they love to be lied to. But when you bring the truth, when you bring that truth, let me show you. John 6, and we're going to jump all the way down. 663. When you bring that truth, let me show you something. I ain't even mean to get into this all today, but you know, all praises to the Most High. First of all, before I even get to 60, 63, I'm going to start at 58. And then it says, this is the bread which, this is Hamashiach Yahushua. This is the bread which came down from the Shemayim. Not as your fathers did eat manna and are dead. He that eateth of this bread shall live forever. These things say, so like these things said he in the synagogue as he taught in Capernaum. Many of his disciples, when they heard this, said, this is a hard saying. Who can hear it? Meaning, who can do it? He's preaching truth. This is hard. This ain't easy. This ain't like what my church teach. When Yahushua knew in himself that his disciples murmured at it, he said unto them, does this offend you? Verse 62. What and if ye shall see the Son of Man ascend up where he was before? It is the spirit that quickeneth, meaning it's the spirit that gives you life. I keep telling you, the flesh doesn't profit nothing, meaning nothing you do here in this world in the flesh, if you living for the flesh, is not going to profit you nothing. The words that I speak unto you, they are spirit, the rakah, and they are life. I'm speaking life to you. I'm trying to give you the truth. It says in 64, but there were some of them, Salakia, but there were some of you that believed not. For Yahushua knew from the beginning who they were that believed not and who should betray him. And he said, therefore said I unto you that no man can come unto me except it were given unto him of my Father. This is how you know who's really sent from the Father, if they bringing forth this truth. Nobody can really bring this if it's not really from the Father. I would be on the other side with these other people, preaching John 3:16, and he loved the world and everybody, and it's all Tinkerbells and rainbows, but that wasn't what was given to me through the Rakah. He led me this way for a purpose, for a reason. I didn't grow up in Christianity. I didn't grow up in Catholicism. I didn't know nothing about the word until he brought it to me. Meaning I wasn't tainted. I wasn't polluted. I wasn't tarnished with those things. I came from the streets, but I wasn't tarnished with those things. So when he delivered the word to me, that's what was delivered, the word. That's it. And that's what I'm going to bring forth. 66, it says, from that time, many of his disciples went back and walked no more with him. All those 5,000, 10,000 people following Hamashiach Yahushua, man, when he was bringing that truth, those people left. They wasn't there. They wasn't there. So you got to be careful when you see all of these mega churches and big old camps and it's 100,000 people and all that. How come they following? It wasn't like that with Hamashiach Yahushua. They left when he was speaking truth. And it's written right here. From that time, many of his disciples went back and walked no more with him. Then said Yahushua unto the 12, will ye also go away? He was ready for the 12 to leave. But Peter stood up. Then Simon Peter answered unto him, Master, to whom shall we go? Thou hast the words of eternal life, and we believe and are sure that thou art that Hamashiach, the Son of the living Most High. And as he said, Yahushua answered, have I not chosen you 12? And one of you is what? A devil. So even if you got 12 brethren, 12 Akim around you, or 12 sisters around you, just know one of them is a devil. Your circle gonna be small when you preaching truth, when you bringing truth, when you talking about truth, it's gonna be small. It ain't gonna be a lot of people. Ain't gonna be a lot of people. But like I say, let's finish this off. Revelation. Let's go back. I'm sorry about going off on that, but I just had to show it. So like I said, you don't want to be like the dogs, the sorcerers, the whoremongers, the murderers who are outside what? The gate. 16. I, Yahweh Shai, have sent my Malak to testify unto you these things in the churches. I am the root and the offspring of David and the bright and morning star. 17. And the Rakah are the spirit, and the bride say, come. And let him that heareth say, come. And let him that athirst come. And whosoever will, let him take the water of life freely. That's why I played that song when I first started the lesson about the living water. Once again, that song, the link for the song is in the description box, and I'll play it going out for those who missed it. Verse 18, for I testify unto you, testifying to every man that heareth the words of the prophecy of this book. If any man shall add unto these things, the Most High shall add unto him plagues that are written in this book. So it's no right then and there is no longer your concern if somebody added something inside this book for the word of the Most High. He's letting you know if man did that, if anybody on earth did that, I got it. Don't worry about it. A lot of us be focused, well, that ain't in there, or they added, or they took away. The Most High already said, I got that. I know men are going to do that. That's how evil man is. I know they're going to do that, but I got that. Don't worry about that. Just believe in me. Verse 19, if any man shall take away from the words of this book, of this prophecy, the Most High shall take away his part out of the book of life. And out of what? That Quadash city. Reminding you, we're going where? To a city. If you make it, that's where you're going to be. And from the things which are written in this book. So to the brothers, to the sisters, don't worry about if something was added or something was taken away. A lot of Akim fall right here because they're like, oh, the scribes added, or oh, the scribes took away, or this or that. The Most High already said, I got that covered. You just focus on me and my only begotten son. He was testified these things, saith, surely I come quickly, Amawah. Even so come the master, Yahweh Shai. The grace of our master, Yahweh Shai Mashiach, be with you all. Amawah. All praises be to the Most High. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. You know, like I say, if anybody wants me to read anything if I close out in the scriptures, you can put it in there. You know, if not, I guess I'll go ahead and close out. Not unless somebody want me to get one more. You want me to get one more? I'll get one more. Okay. Nobody said nothing.
Hey, Jenna said, Kanye, pop class.
The water. With that, then I'm gonna just get ready to close out. Like I said, I was gonna bring out one more, but you know, all praises be to the Most High that He gave us this through the Rakah, through the Spirit. It's only by Him, through His power, Yahweh will, that He woke us up, that we were able to get this message for the day. Like I say, if you believe that this message is edifying, please share it to anyone out there. You know, I believe that it needs to be heard. Get right or get left. And like I say, I'm not talking about no rapture and all these things. I'm talking about you're going to be left outside what? The gate. You're going to be left outside the gate. And I already read it to you in Revelation 22, where there are murderers, sorcerers, idolaters. You don't want to be out there. You want to be inside the city. You know. So we give all praises, honor, glory, reverence, esteem to the Ancient of Days, the giver of life, the taker of life, our Father, Yahweh, His only begotten Son, Hamashiach Yahweh Shai. We say Kwam Yasharallah. Kwam Yasharallah. Shabbat Shalom to everybody out there. May you enjoy the rest of your Shabbat day. and just give praises to the Most High for waking us up this morning. You know, say the water Abanawi Yahweh in the Hebrew. The water Hamashiach Yahweh Shai for all he has done. Think about that. He came to the earth, laid down his life for us, shed his blood, and then he's still on the right side of the Father, being what our intercessor, our mediator, still there for us. Then he sent who? The Comforter, the Kodash Rakah, the Holy Spirit. So we'll never be left alone. You know, so it's just a beautiful thing when we think about it. It's just a beautiful thing. She says, Khan, your class, beautiful class for those who don't know what that means. The sister Adriana says, very edifying. Khan. The Aqua Dorothy, she sends hearts, roses, kisses, all praises, the water. And the Aqua, the Adriana, she says, Kwam Yasharallah, Shabbat Shalom. Now, mind you, everything that I just read, especially in the book of Revelations, how he come quickly, you know, talking about all those that thirst, all those that, you know, are ready, are here. He says, come. So share this song. Like I said, the link is in the description. I'm going to close out with this. And may y'all have a beautiful, beautiful Yafeh Barak Shabbat day. Okay. With that, let me play this. And I'll see you tomorrow. I'm going to go live in the evening. I'm going to go live tomorrow in the evening. Start doing the first day of the week live in the evening. I'm not sure what time, but I'm thinking like 6 o'clock my time. I'm thinking. So I'll put it up, let it be known. So for those who want to tune in, I'll see you tomorrow in the evening time, maybe about 6 my time. And to then, enjoy the song.
I ain't got no money, but what I got is greater than anything you've ever seen. If you know what I mean, I've got the living water. I promise you'll never thirst again. 6 days for the banner. Eat it before it's too late. There's been something on my mind. I've got to let the whole world know. For so long, I've been walking blind. I'm so glad now, 'cause I can see His mercy went before me. Least I can do is to sacrifice myself. I ain't got no money, but what I got is greater than anything you've ever seen. If you know what I mean, I've got the living water. I promise you'll never thirst again. 6 days for the banner. Eat it before it's too late. Oh, I don't need no fancy car, no need for a mansion, no fancy clothes, 'cause all I need is you in my life to give me peace of mind. Shalom is hard to find in the midst of unrighteousness. I ain't got no money, but what I got is greater. Oh, yes, it is. Than anything you've ever seen. If you know what I mean. Oh, I've got the living water. I promise you'll never thirst again. 6 days for the manna. Eat it before it's too late. I got no